أنا وعلاش وعلاش يا الدنيا.
السلام عليكم إخواني أخواتي المغاربة، ومرحبا بكم معنا في الحلقة الرابعة من برنامج علاش. في هذه الحلقة هذه معنا الضيف ستيف اللي هو الرجل السيف. خليكم معنا نسولوه بعض الأسئلة ونشوفوا شنو غادي يقول لنا. مرحبا بك معنا ستيف. Welcome to the show ستيف.
Thank you very much, Taha. It's nice to be here.
أول سؤال ديالنا وهو علاش هذا الاستعراض في الزنقة وعلاش بالضبط السيف؟
I really enjoy the challenge of performing in the street. I used to do a lot of paid gigs, like performances where you're actually getting paid to do them, and I find that it's more of a challenge actually performing. It keeps you good.
ولكن علاش السيف؟ Why the sword? Why particularly the sword?
The sword, I just, when I started out, I think the thing that kind of drew me towards it was a lot of the kind of danger kind of aspects of things. So the fire eating, I spent a long time teaching myself fire eating. I do one fire eating in my show now, and like the sword swallowing was one of the main kind of acts involved in that, and like the hardest to learn. And so it took a long time to learn, and it's out of everything I can actually do, it's probably the thing I'm most proud of being able to do because it took a long time to learn. So.
منين جاتك الفكرة ديال كسرة السيف؟
Well, it certainly wasn't my idea. It's as old as, I think prostitution's the oldest art, and I think street performing's the second or something. So it's a very old thing. So it certainly wasn't my idea, but it's something that I'd seen in books and perhaps movies and whatever. And just having performed for a good few years before I actually learnt sword swallowing, it was something I'd seen perhaps a few other performers doing and been really impressed by myself. And even now when I see other performers swallowing a sword, I think, wow, that's amazing, you know, the sword's actually going down inside them, and I know there's no trick to it. So yeah, it was definitely an influence, just perhaps other performers, and the fact that it was just old-fashioned kind of stuff that you rarely see these days, you know.
فوقاش أول مرة جربتيها؟
There wasn't actually a first time trying it because it takes a long time to learn, so you have to retrain your body in order to be able to do it. So the first time I tried it, it would have been, I gave up. I tried to learn years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and I gave up. I basically hadn't done enough research into it. You spend a long time getting nowhere with it, so the first time trying it, you don't just try it for the first time because you wouldn't possibly be able to do it. You've got to retrain your body in order to do it. So I started off with a plastic chopstick, and you've
something small,
and basically you can't do anything for a long time while you're learning. It's because your body has an automatic kind of reflex to, you know, just you've got the gag reflex, but on top of that, there's an involuntary muscle at the top of your esophagus, a sphincter at the top of your esophagus, which is there to actually protect you, you know, from choking or whatever, which closes up. And so you've got to retrain your body in order to actually be able to open this up. And you don't have to be able to open it up much to be able to slide the sword down there. The sword's maybe about that width, you know, but it's that thin, you know, so I've only got to open it up about that much. But even that, because your body isn't made that way, it's very hard to train your body to be able to do that, you know.
ولكن السيف ما كيكونش ماضي.
No, you could only do that once.
With a sharp sword.
Yeah.
And that will be the last.
That would be the last time. That's
the
right,
last show, yes. Wow.
Yeah. The sword has to be very smooth.
ما عمر طرات لك شي accident مثلا؟
I've had a couple of accidents. It's just a case of basically constantly trying to remind yourself and not becoming complacent that what you're doing is actually dangerous. I ended up with pleurisy through sword swallowing, like perhaps the first year that I was doing it. The sword that I had was quite flexible. I wasn't getting my alignment quite right, so it wasn't going straight down. It was, because the sword was flexible, I thought that it was going straight down, but it wasn't. It would have been bending inside me, and I think it had caused pressure like on my diaphragm and caused a different kind of pleurisy. So that's the worst that's actually happened.
واش درتي هاد الاستعراض في العديد من الدول ولا كتستعرض غير هنايا في اسكتلندا؟
Probably not as many as I would have liked to, but I've been in quite a few places, a lot of countries around Europe, I think we're quite fortunate with Europe. Just so many diverse countries, so many different languages, so many small countries all in one area of the world. So I've been to quite a lot of festivals and performed in quite a lot of places around Europe, Australia, and was lucky enough to be in Bahrain last year. Yeah, I was lucky enough to be in Bahrain, I always pronounce it wrong, but I was lucky enough to be there, which was especially nice. I think with all the troubles that are going on in the world, I think it was especially nice to be in a Middle Eastern country. And basically just something that we all know anyway, that we're all the same. It doesn't matter where we come from, our beliefs or whatever, we're all the same. The people in Bahrain were beautiful people, lovely people, very nice, accommodating and friendly people. And it is really nice actually having the opportunity to go and see different cultures and actually getting paid to go to these places. In places that you would never, life's short, and unless you've got a lot of money you can't see everywhere you would like to be able to see, so it's actually really nice to get the chance to go to places that you would never have a chance to go to.
واش عمرك مشيتي للمغرب؟
Yes, I have been to Morocco. I went to Morocco at the start of this year, went to Marrakesh for the first time, and I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic, and a place I would definitely like to go back to. And it was quite interesting as well, just that big main square where there was so many performances going on, and it was quite interesting just the difference in the kind of style of shows that I'm doing and a lot of other street performers that are my contemporaries are doing. But this old square that's been there for such a long time, thousands of years, and there's always been performances from what I believe there, and it was really nice to see the snake charmers, which I've only ever seen on TV before, and stuff like that, the monkey trainers, but the storytellers that were there, and apart from Salam alaikum and shukran, apart from those words, my Arabic isn't very good, so I couldn't really understand what they were saying, but it was very interesting to actually see the big crowds of people. And from what I heard, it was, they'd always leave the stories on like a bit of a nail biter or something, so that people would come back the next night or the next time they were performing to watch. So I thought it was really interesting. But I just think the main thing for Marrakesh was just a lot of the markets, and it's a pretty amazing place. Yeah, really cool.
شحال كاين من رجل سيف في العالم؟
Oh well, there's, according to my show, there's under 60. There's about 100. It's good to exaggerate during your show. It just makes it sound a little bit better. But
كتدخل لك المال الكافي. Do you make enough money out of it to survive?
Otherwise, I wouldn't be still doing it. I make enough money, and you have your good times and your bad times.
Average per day, for instance.
Average per day. Oh, if there's any other street performers, they'll be loving watching this, won't they? It's, obviously, you're not going to say how much you would actually make a day, because there is no average. There really isn't. Like today, I went up to do a show, it poured rain, and I couldn't do a show. So today, I made nothing, you know.
واش ما كتحسش بها بان سعايه فاش كتكون كتستعرض في الزنقه، ما كتحسش بانك كتسعى؟
When you start out, it definitely feels like begging, and I think you've got so many different cultures. Some people will kind of frown on it. I don't think there's anywhere in the world that wouldn't kind of, certain people or certain generations or backgrounds might look upon it like that. I certainly don't anymore at all.
بغينا نقول شكرا بزاف على الحضور ديالك، وشي كلمه بغيتي تقولها للجمهور المغربي ديالنا؟
It's been a pleasure being here with I don't suppose I have that much to say. Well, it's been a pleasure being on your TV show, and basically, I don't know, if anyone wants to do anything even similar, remotely similar to what I'm doing, if I can do it, you can do it. There's nothing that special about me, so yeah, just stick at stuff and work hard at it, and you'll get there. Simple as that.
شكرا للجمهور ديالنا للتتبع ديالكم، وخليكم معنا نمشيو للمقر ديال العمل ديالو ونشوفوا هذه الخدمه اللي كيدير. مع السلامه.